Hi there and welcome back. I'm continuing my research on the Olympus stone. I used it yesterday in a live stream to hone a Koraat 14 2.0, what we call the Mortine, and uh, I got a good edge. Haven't test shaved with that edge yet, but I got a good edge, but wasn't really getting the feedback from the stone that I hoped I would get. So what I've done is taken off quite a bit of surface material using 80 grit silicon carbide sandpaper. I don't have it here, but I used quite a bit of that. Then I came back with the Atoma 140, which is a diamond plate, and continued to flatten and remove material. And then finally I did the pencil scribble thing on the surface and used this optically flat diamond plate from Sharpen, the diamond lapping plate, to get this as flat as possible. It dips in this corner and in this corner, but that's okay. I'm not using either of these corners to sharpen. Everywhere else on the stone is as flat as this plate will allow it to be. So I also noticed that the stone soaks up water. It's a little bit of a it's not so dense that it is completely splash and go. So you can see there's a little area here where it's already drying. So what I've done is I've had it soaking in a tub, and I'm going to, I just took it out as we started this video, so I'm going to raise a slurry here, and then I'm going to start in honing a Thiers Issard. I think this is an IVD Sonant, and the 6/8 extra hollow ground razor. Now this stone has a wobble right here, and I'm going to put a little bit of paper to help mitigate that wobble so that I don't have that wobble interfering with my feel. That's better. And let's continue to build some slurry. And the goal of this procedure is to mimic what I did yesterday. I'm going to joint the edge. Then I'm building up a fairly thick slurry here. And then I'm going to use this slurry directly on the edge, keeping pressure off the apex. Then I'm going to water this down. Then I'll move to ONR. Then I'll move to, I'll water this down. Then I'll move to ONR with slurry. Then I'll move to ONR directly as a final finish. So here we have a pretty good slurry. It's hard to see because this is the slurry is a black slurry on a black stone. So it's hard to see, but I have a pretty good slurry worked up here with the little diamond plate. And we're going to do the jointing. Let's see, you can see it here. I'm doing it the Hap Stanley way, which is weight of the razor. All I care about is taking off the very apex. And we're going to dig in. The stone does feel better. It's much less noisy, has more of a soft feel to it. And so we'll see if this maintains like this, if it ends up giving up material as I sharpen, then it may end up with a resulting feel that's very much like where I was yesterday. So we'll just have to see. Okay, this needs watering down. Very, very dark. As you can see, the slurry is really, really dark. I think this is a shale stone. I'm not sure. Okay, let's continue. Very good feel so far. Stone is definitely flat. I can, even with this much slurry, I can feel the stone trying to grab the edge, but I don't feel as if the edge is completely refined at this level of slurry yet. The feel, though, of the razor on the stone is consistent, whereas yesterday I felt like it was very inconsistent. I felt the minute each time I put the razor down, I was feeling something different. This time it's predictable and progressing the way I would like it to progress. You can see the undercut is great, very easy. Again, I'm sticking with my strategy of no edge bias at all. I'm just letting the slurry and the surface of the stone work on the bevel surfaces and not on the apex. Okay, I'm going to do one more dilution. And there's no doubt that I'm probably overdoing this. I'm trying to learn the stone, so I'm not going for efficiency of sharpening time. I'm going for education in developing my feel for this stone. For me, the only reason really to use natural stones is the experience of using them. I don't feel, even though I'm about to do some shootouts, I don't really feel that the stone makes enough of a difference that I would be able to say that one stone is better than another. I do think they have personalities, and the edges they produce have a personality, and I quite enjoy that variety. But in terms of the job of cutting hair, I don't necessarily think that anything is any better than your typical synthetic edge. All right, that's feeling awfully good. Looking awfully good. Beautiful shine. Let's see if I can show you the shine on the and there you go, sort of. Problem is it's not really focusing. Sorry, I'm just not getting it for you. But it has a nice, beautiful, beautiful, very, very nice shine on the that this stone produces. Okay, let's do a quick test. Whoa! Dropped my packing peanut. All right, so we have very good sharpness. Very good sharpness. Okay, let's and we've thinned that. Let's go to continue with this. Go to a razor slurry. Lighter slurry this time, don't need a lot, but I want to continue letting the stone work on the bevel surface. At the very last stage, I will go on just ONR without a slurry, and I will be putting a little edge bias at that point to do primarily to clean up the apex, or to try to. Now, if the resulting edge on this razor looks significantly better. Oops, what am I doing? Looks significantly better than the edge did for the Mortine, then I'm going to redo the Mortine, because that's a shootout razor, and I want that razor to have the best edge possible from this stone. I doubt that I will video that, but I'm videoing this, so you'll have an idea of what's to come if this edge is significantly better. The feel on the stone with ONR is much more, significantly better than it was yesterday, and much more like the feel of ONR on other stones. So that's another improvement from the resurfacing. Again, you see me, if anything, putting very, very light pressure back into the blade, so that the abrasion occurs on the bevel surface. All right. Let's see where we are here. Very shiny bevel. Really nice. I like that. And have we improved? Yes, we have. We are in the push into the cloud stage already. So this is looking quite good. And we're going to move into the final frontier. Cleaning off both ONR and slurry. And we're going to go with I'm going to be going with just ONR. I think in yesterday's honing I did water and then ONR, but I think I'm going to stick with ONR this time around. ONR, I get this question every time. ONR is this stuff. It's called Optimum No Rinse, and this is mixed 50-50. 50% ONR directly from the bottle, and then 50% water. I don't think that the percentage matters much. Okay, so now oops, sorry about that. I think I got my head in the way. Now I'm definitely putting a little bit of torque bias towards the edge so that any burr or any toothiness that's on the edge, I'm now focusing on trying to clean up. So I'm trying to create, at this point, I'm trying to create the cleanest edge that I can. As well as, the cleanest edge that I can. The previous steps are about geometry. Previous steps are getting geometry at whatever geometry at the edge, the spine width and blade width will give me. So whatever that geometry is, I want to get the closest approximation of that on each bevel, and then that will obviously give us an apex. And now what I'm doing is to give the best refinement that I can to that apex. Okay. Alrighty, let's see how we're doing. So far, up until this point, I'd say it's by far the best experience I've had with this stone. I did remove quite a bit of material, but sometimes that's what's necessary. Would love to turn this around and have this become a favorite. So let's see how we do. Yeah, we are still just absolutely falling in easily under the I'm at the balance point, so it's just literally the weight of the blade that's falling into the packing peanut. I typically can't do any better than that in terms of keenness. So let's go take a look at what the edge looks like. All right, so I just showed you what the edge looks like. A little movie of the edge, and it's the scratch pattern is much more even on this razor, and the overall apex condition is much better on this razor than it was on the Koraat. So I'm going to touch up the Koraat and make sure that I get quality that's consistent with this razor. And I'm going to go test shave this razor to make sure that what I'm seeing and testing translates to a great shave. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. So I'm making this video immediately after the previous one. This is the touch-up on the Koraat 14 2.0. I'm going to make sure I start with a very flat surface, so I've marked up the Olympus stone with some pencil markings, which will be hard for you to see. I'm going to use the sharpen diamond lapping plate to verify that I'm starting with a very flat surface. This stone does give up a fair amount of material, so I wouldn't be surprised if it wears a little bit at each sharpening. So the diamond lapping plate has removed, and I'm using very light pressure. I'm just letting the diamonds do their work. This plate is very, very old and worn, so it barely removes material. You can see a little of the blackness of the stone. I have what I expect. I have pencil markings here and here. I have a few pencil markings back here, which again is kind of what I expect. I'm just going to knock down. That means that the center is higher than the ends. So I'm just going to knock this down a little bit, make sure everything is flat. And we have no more pencil markings in the area where we're going to be working. So that's good. And now I'm going to raise a slurry. I'm not going to joint the edge here. I'm just going to use a medium slurry with water, medium slurry with ONR, finish on ONR, because that produced great results last time. Although I have not test shaved that Thiers Issard. Okay, and that's a light slurry, spritz of water, and let's tune up this razor. Okay, so this definitely feels better than it did yesterday. Making noise like it did yesterday, but it feels much better. I'm letting the half strokes, I'm doing what I did in the very last razor. I'm just letting the half strokes and the slurry work on the bevel surface. I think I need a little bit more water. This part is far better. than it was yesterday on this stage. Far better. Each time the razor hits the stone, it is behaving the same way. That was very disconcerting to me. This is much better. Okay, I'm going to dilute this. Stone is, the flatness of the stone is evident. I can feel a little tug at the very apex, which is nice. I don't feel as if it's hurting the apex at all. I feel as if it's a result of the bevels coming down a little bit, becoming more uniform in their scratch pattern. Okay, let's see where we are. Oh, much better. That is a lighter touch, much lighter touch to break the surface than I had yesterday, even when I finished. Okay, let's move to the ONR stage. I just cleaned that off. I'm going to refresh the slurry. Did I lose my... Oh no. I lost my paper towel. Hang on, we got to have paper towel here. Pretty sure this makes all the difference. This was the problem all along, was not the right paper towel. Yeah, I'm kidding. Okay, nice light slurry. Putting it into an ONR suspension here. And we are back at it. And I'm a noisier razor, but I have the same feel at the apex as I had with the Thiers Issard. So the Thiers and Koraat are behaving the same way, which is very nice. Pressure into the stone is very light. All right. Okay, let's make sure we aren't moving backwards, which I don't think we are. No, that's absolutely the definition of push into the cloud. And we're not done yet, so let's do the final step. a full just ONR and a little bit of a focus onto the apex. This is the first time I will be putting a little focus down onto the apex. Perhaps you can tell based on where my fingers are. Because this zone is slanted, I'm not able to read the undercut very well at all, but I am doing it by feel. Okay, let's check final status here. And it's September 15th. And I just received a notification on my phone that I need to go pay taxes. I pay taxes quarterly, so got to do that. Oh yeah, that's where we want that to be. Just sorry about that. So it's just absolutely falling into the packing peanut. So let's go take a look at this. All right, so we are done with this razor. I just showed you a video of the center section here. The reflection, the scratch pattern looks much better on the bevels. The edge is much smoother. It's going to improve considerably with some stropping, I can tell that. The sharpness test is excellent. The reflection, you can't see the bevel here, but tiny bevel that has excellent shine to it. I'd say that the resurfacing of the stone was a success. I've just done 2 razors on it and it's been consistent for the first time. So thanks for staying with me. I'm trying to show you what I go through sometimes, and hopefully that's helpful. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.